Hi, it's Mel Dennis here from Domain & Co for our Property Professional Series. I'm sitting here with Kate Yeowart from Strata Equity. Fantastic, Kate, to have you join us.
Thanks, Mel. Great to be here.
Today we thought we would go over the three types of ownership in an owner's corporation, I suppose, because there is confusion around the different types. So a very brief introduction. The three types are...
There's strata, there's stratum, and there's company share.
Which can all be confusing and all very different forms of ownership, aren't they?
Absolutely. With a strata plan, the plan is governed by the Owners Corporations Act. So in other words, it tells you what you need to do and how you need to do it in order to govern that Owners Corporation.
There are really clear guidelines on that one.
There is.
And would that be that's the most common?
Yes.
Is that the most preferred as well, do you think?
Definitely. It's what happens nearly all of the time nowadays. It's the end of the evolutionary phase, if you understand my meaning. It's where we've got to the most modern type of plan right now.
So that's, as a new property being built, that's the only type of plan that will happen?
That will be a strata plan or a plan of subdivision.
Okay. And stratum?
Stratum is somewhere in between what was the original one, a company share, and what we have today. So with a stratum property, we have both an Articles of Association and a drawn-up plan, a plan showing what the property looks like. It also shows an upper and lower boundary, which is something that was quite new. Previously there wasn't anything like that. It's hard to explain a stratum without actually explaining company share, which was the original plans that we had. And that was before they actually could measure the height above the ground.
Right.
A company share is where you don't have any plans. There's no written or no drawn up plans for the property. Everything's governed by Articles of Association. It evolved to having some drawn plans plus Articles of Association, and then it evolved to having the drawn plans that we have today and an Act of Parliament. The Act of Parliament replaces the Articles of Association. So when you read the Articles of Association of a stratum or a company share, there can be quite some similarities with the types of decisions and directions that you get under the Owners Corporations Act, but there can be quite big differences too.
And it's very clear on, like if you're buying a property in the Section 32 or the contract of sale, what ownership that it is. So to be very careful of that. I think a lot of banks struggle to lend on company shares, for example, because you don't actually own your property, but you own a share in all of the property. Is that?
That's right. Well, what it is you own shares that gives you the right to occupy your apartment. So you actually don't own property, you own shares in a company. And it does make it a little bit confusing and difficult for banks to lend on. I'm actually aware of two properties that have come to seek out my management whereby they are stratum properties, but they're...
So in the middle of the two, the company share and the strata?
That's right, but their Articles of Association were never written. So in all of these years, they've never had any rules to govern them or guide them. And it's got to the point with change of ownership where they actually really need that.
Yeah, because you can just see so many arguments happening that just don't need to when it's a bit clearer.
That's right. It's one thing when you've got all owner-occupiers and they're all on the same page, but as people change or as properties change ownership, you get people who've got different mindsets.
Yeah, don't want to spend money or want to spend money, and just that whole clash happens, doesn't it?
That's right. So what we're doing now is we're actually converting those properties to strata plans.
Okay, so that's a possibility from the stratum to strata. What about company share to strata?
I believe so. I've never seen one happen. Company shares are quite rare nowadays because they were typically built around in the 50s. By the time we got to the 60s, we got to stratum, and stratum are quite often converted.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Well, we hope that that's helped clear up some, any, thoughts that you may have had or not had about the strata, stratum and company share. Thanks, Kate, for joining us today.
You're welcome.